everybody, to yet another episode of Entertainment Evolved. This is going to be an Evolved review, and as you know, if you're watching this on anywhere that you have video, this is Podcast Assembled.
I almost made you guys friendship bracelets that said Podcast Assembled, but I ran out of ease.
Well,
I totally sported that shit.
That'd be Podcast Assembled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Assembly.
no regrets,
No regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just on it. We originally were not gonna do one for this. It didn't actually occur to me until like 2 weeks ago. Lauren is here from Coffee and Lore. She was on and she was like, "Are we gonna do a thing?" And I was like, "Oh, we could do a thing." So I also have Oz from the Tavern Notice Board.
Yo, adventure, what's going on?
And you guys know Ace. He's not here today. He is here from the Superhero Homies.
Hey guys,
And he's basically like a guest host here now also anyway. So,
I feel so not guilty for derailing you whenever I do. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot.
It was very much like how me and Brendan derailed the crap out of the Super Mario review with you, buddy.
If that movie didn't derail itself, I'd be very upset.
I listened to that review the other day, and for those of you listening, like, definitely go to the Superhero Homies, like, sign up for the Patreon so you can listen to this and tons of other episodes. As a matter of fact, you can find on there the season 1 and 2 reviews for Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we're doing Mandalorian season over here, so you can find those over there. But that review, leave it to Brendan to have the most poignant thing to say on that entire review, because they're sitting there talking about this movie, and they're like, well, we haven't even really talked about Mario. And Brendan's like, well, the movie's not about Mario. And I'm like, that's the review, right?
And to be clear, we're talking about the old 1993 Super Mario Brothers.
You guys haven't even actually seen the new one.
I actually plan on going to see it this weekend. So
Yeah,
Amazing.
I've seen the first 15 minutes and the Jack Black song.
It's good. I mean, I really, it's clearly made for children, which I did not appreciate. But other than that, I like.
Mario's made for children.
I don't want to turn this into the Mario movie review. So. Couple of items to little housekeeping things before we get into the meat and potatoes here tonight. So just recently we did a comic news episode over on your show.
Yes.
And I definitely encourage everybody to check that out. And come back right here next week-ish. We are going to be finishing up this season, thank God, with episode 23. We're doing a CW season this time. We're going to do our antagonist episode. So we started off the season with the protagonist episode, and we're going to do an antagonist episode. So definitely, I would say, come back and check that out. Also, before we get into it, we have a very thematically appropriate set of items from the shelf today. So a couple, 2 months ago, I was in Atlanta and went to kind of a nerdy shop or whatever, and they had a bunch of Funkos. And I was like, I'm not going to buy any Funkos. And then I saw this Luke Skywalker with Grogu here. And I was like, I've never seen this Funko before.
I mean, no, yeah.
And so I was like, well, I might as well walk out with all of them. So I actually got all of these. Actually, I want to say I had the Bo-Katan. No, I had the Ahsoka already. I have an Obi-Wan that's still up there on the shelf. I got the 4 of them at the same time. But I thought that this was appropriate for this because we've got our Mandalorian representatives here. We got a Book of Boba Fett character. And we have the Ahsoka show coming up. We got an Ahsoka here. So.
Heck yeah.
It's
extremely fitting and just convenient that you happen to have these.
Right, yeah. I just happen to have them here. And also, they bobble. So as we, just move around and do things all night, they'll just sit there and shake. Trust me, I really wanted to bring that copy of White Sand down that I've been waiting for 18 months. But there'll be a time and place for that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That being said, guys, let's get into the Mandalorian. We're talking about the last 2 episodes here.
I didn't want to off-rail you, but I was going to ask you, do you have a dream pop that you don't own?
Ooh.
I have
I thought you meant soda. I was like,
No.
Like, we're not from the north. We don't call it hot.
I do call it hot.
You do, but the rest of us don't.
I would never invite anybody on the show that mainly calls it pop.
I'm sorry, I'll have to leave.
Yeah. It's been nice.
Oh.
All right. that being said, no, it's
Dream pop figure.
Dream Pop figure.
How about you, Ace? What do you
He
think?
he only has 2, and I gave him to him.
I have 3. I was thinking the third one years ago.
Yeah, that was the very first one, I think.
Well, that makes it the first one.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember?
I don't.
It's Piccolo.
That's right. Yeah, I knew it was DBZ. I knew it
Still
was
in the
DBZ.
box. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
I-
the reason
It's
I have a hard
okay
time
if you
answering
own
this
it.
question is because
I was gonna say,
it's
if
very
you
hard to
own
top
it.
that one.
Yeah.
If you own it, that's really cool.
It's Mark Hamill in the Joker suit.
That's really.
See,
freaking
I
dope.
own all the ones that
So what's your favorite then?
all of the Critical Roles, like all Vox Machina. I have them displayed on a nice shelf above my DM station.
That's amazing.
I did see one. So there's one at Dragon Con that's been there for a while, and it's not so much the pop, but there is so there's 2. There's one that is a Dwayne the Rock Johnson Funko, and it is autographed by
Oh
him.
my god, that's freaking
It's
sick.
$550.
I mean, I can
It's
imagine.
probably still there.
Yeah.
But there is also a Supernatural one that is Sam Dean and Cass, and it is autographed by all 3 actors.
Oh,
And I
sure.
would very much love that for the shelves. That would be quite the. That would be the number 1.
That would be the number 1.
I can dig that.
You know what
Yeah.
they're asking for it?
It was like 400 last time I was there, and I
That's
feel
it?
like that's reasonable.
That's
That
it.
is really reasonable
It
for
would be the
that.
most expensive thing on the shelf.
But still.
The reason I asked that is because I have 2, but they recently dropped from the D&D movie the Chubby Dragon. Got his own pop, and I must have it in my life.
Honestly, I think
Yes.
it has to be added to the collection that I have because I have Vecna as well as Xanathar, so I have to have all the D&D pop.
I'm so obsessed with them. And then they have an Eddie Munson one that I
Oh,
don't have.
yes.
And I fucking need it.
It's crazy that you said Vecna, and I thought of Stranger Things before I thought of D&D.
Mm.
That's the culture we're living right now.
Mm.
That's the power of Stranger Things.
And I just realized that I don't have a Stranger Things anything up here, so that's got to be remedied
Yeah, it does.
quickly.
yeah.
But the Tubby Dragon is definitely going to end up.
Oh,
yeah,
Chubby
100%.
Dragon has got to be.
I can't remember that dude's name either. I know
Comes in the
it's
trunk.
Huh?
Yes, it's something like that. I
it's a
saw
really
the box
fucked
recently.
thing. He's
it
he's the coolest thing.
is. He's
That's a
Chubby
pudgy
Dragon.
dragon. So good.
Freaking need it.
He must have made this place his lair. Did he eat?
I mean, yes.
Yeah. I will say too, I was looking at something recently. They're coming out with a bunch of new Funkos for is it Star Wars. I don't remember, but they have a bunch of like glow in the dark ones for something that I really, really want, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head now. So
I love an old school Anakin one too. I think like if they did a Hayden Christensen Anakin one.
yeah, like a General Skywalker
Mm-hmm.
with like the Clone Wars armor, I would be up for that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
for the Episode 3.
Yeah, I don't know because I've looked and I can't find one. Maybe they've got like ones that people have made or something on Etsy.
It is very unlike the mouse to, not take an opportunity to make some money.
For sure, but I mean, I went to Star Wars Land and they didn't have anything. So
How do y'all? Because like I physically cannot allow myself to get into collecting Funko because it's a whole nother money pit that I just can't afford right now.
It's a nightmare.
It is. Like I will say this from my end. I only buy the ones that I just the stuff that I like.
Yes.
That's how I started with comics.
Well, okay.
And if you've seen his studio, which you
Bruh.
probably haven't yet, if you're not at this table, we probably haven't seen it yet. But that's got to change soon.
Yeah, and it will.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show up at your house one day with all this shit that you guys can't see. At home.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. I started out only buying like my favorite male characters and then it just kind of went crazy. Like my first Funko was a Jamie Fraser from Outlander and then I ended up getting a Parzival from Ready Player One. And then it just kind of exploded.
I used to work next to a mall, and the mall has a Hot Topic in it.
And of course, yeah.
Hot Topic has a ton of Funkos. And so every payday, I just became a ritual because I had my desk, I had my Funkos on my desk at work. So every payday, I would go to the mall on my lunch and I would just grab a few. And then next thing you know, so I bought these 4. recently, as I said, but all the other ones that are up here, I just had, and then I have a bunch more out in storage that were not worthy of the shelf.
I mostly just have the D&D ones, and I think I have a handful of others that are just off to the side somewhere.
The Snowman Captain America over there barely made it.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, I see him there.
Snowman Captain America.
That is pretty freaking dope.
Yeah, and he's a bobblehead. That was the reason he made it.
I love it.
So the question I have, and I promise we can get our pops here, but the question I have was, how do y'all decide which ones to unbox and which ones to keep in the box?
So all of mine have been in boxes until the studio.
Okay.
All of mine have been in boxes.
I have never kept mine in boxes. They started out being displayed on my work desk, probably the same job as him, and I just have always displayed mine.
Fair.
With me, honestly, the only reason, I guess the pockets I had before, I like my other random assortment ones, I just leave in the box because I really don't care that I own them. I just have them because I just randomly accumulated over the years. Like, hey, you want a pop? Sure, I'll take it. But with my Legends of Vox Machina, I wanted to actually create like a small shrine for them. So I have the whole Vox Machina party, and then I have Vecna and Xanathar like looming over them. I just thought it was kind of cool. So
It is
like I just felt I needed to, they needed to be out of the box for that.
Yeah. And the reason you probably bring that up is like the really hardcore pop collectors never take them out of the box. Like
that's hardcore collectors in most genres, it's like especially when it comes to like action figures of some sort.
Yeah, that set of Avengers up there, I have 2 sets of that. So I took one out of the box, and then I have another one. They're all in the factory sealed boxes. And the reason they're still in there is because I intend to sell them once Marvel is no longer selling those. And so, yeah, but I have to have them in there because most, pop collectors are super, anal about the condition. Like, when I sold, I had a Frieza from San Diego Comic-Con that I bought for, $15, and I sold it for, $300.
Nice.
And the guy was like, I really hope the box was going to be in, nicer condition or whatever. And I was like, dude, it was in pristine condition. I don't know what you. Yeah. It was flawless. I don't even know what he's talking about. But anyway, so this has been our Funko Pop episode.
Yeah, we're done now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
That will not be the only derailment.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't just you. You started it, but he made it worse. It's always his fault.
But he turned it on.
For sure.
So we are talking about the last 2 episodes of season 3 of Mandalorian tonight. Episode 7, The Spies, and episode 8, The Return. Before we get into it, I want to talk a little bit about the fucking internet. I don't know.
So bad.
I know you haven't, because you just like to enjoy things.
Exactly.
And I don't know how much of this you've seen, but I know you have seen it. So we have 2 things that have gone on with this season. Number one, there's a bunch of streamers and content creators out there and whatever that are just bitching about this season of Mandalorian.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to say that, I definitely don't want to be one of those people that's I love Star Wars and you can't criticize it, right? Because I really hate those people typically. Right? Yeah.
That is not me. I have never been that way.
But there's some folks, so when you start talking about the sequel trilogy, those people I just mentioned, they will come out of the woodwork. And I'm not one of those people. I don't think the season's perfect. We'll get into all the details, but it's just this ongoing kind of all this rumor and all this other stuff about Jon Favreau is going to leave Disney, which is completely unsubstantiated. The rumors were that Pedro Pascal was going to leave and that he was going to die in the finale. When they titled episode 7 "The Spies," the internet basically they Mephisto'd themselves, and there was this whole ongoing thing where people were talking about, Casca is the spy, or this person's the spy, this person's the spy. Oh, it's the armor. She was working with Gideon the whole time. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. And so when they're turned out to not be a spy, everybody was like, oh, my theory was wrong. So they Mephisto'd themselves, which is a reference to WandaVision. Everybody, the internet, nobody ever said at Marvel that Mephisto was going to be in the show, and the internet just like fucking went off the rails about it. And then when Mephisto never showed up, they were disappointed.
Yeah, see, this is why I don't fuck with that shit. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like, cause that's stupid. Like, just watch the shit. Just watch it.
Yeah, as somebody who often has hot takes on her channel, like you need to have support. If it's cool if you're like, I hate this and yada yada yada, but you need to be able to support it. My biggest frustration is people, and you and I have talked about this, that just literally can't even support why they hate something. They just want to hate it to hate it.
Right. And there is a very clear difference, and we talk about this a lot, between this is not for me and it's bad.
Yeah.
So those are two completely different things.
Such a big difference.
So if your argument is this is not for me, then I never have I got nothing for that because I can't tell you what's for you. But if you want to say that something's objectively bad, then we got to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we got to have a discussion. I need you to have some points. I will say I don't think this season is as good as 1 or 2. I don't
can
think
agree
that
with
this finale is as good as the finale for 1 or 2.
I can agree.
Especially not 2, because there was no way you were gonna top that.
Nah, that shit was too dope.
You can't have fucking Luke Skywalker show up every time.
No.
So I will say this about this season is I think that this season leaned very heavily towards people who are familiar with the animated shows, particularly Clone Wars. And it went well for some people, and it didn't go well for others.
Yeah, I hadn't heard any of like the gratuitous bitching done online. Yeah,
It's out there.
And to be perfectly honest, like I've said this, like on the very first podcast I was ever with on the Superhero Homies, we talked about Star Wars. One of the biggest things I've always hated about Star Wars is the overly passionate fans. That is a nice way to put it. Most Star Wars fans are assholes, and so like I, as a Star Wars fan, stick away from anyone unless I know them personally. I don't talk about Star Wars with people. I just don't, because it usually ends in something like that where it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, when I'm like around a random person, I own a lot of Star Wars shirts. I'll be like around a random person, it'll come up, and I'll be like, before we start talking about this, I need your favorite Star Wars movie and your least favorite Star Wars movie. Go. And then if they say anything other than like The Last Jedi for that second one, we can't have this conversation.
Yeah.
So if they're like Phantom Menace for the first one, I probably would walk off from that too.
Being an Anakin Skywalker girly, it's rough out there in these streets. You have to like, you have to be ready to have people be like confrontational about it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean those movies are trash? I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. There's no saving the 3 most recent ones.
Yeah.
No,
However,
no, it's about to be 4.
I do.
They're about to make it 4.
What?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, screw that.
Remember?
Yeah, I already blocked it out of my mind. Like that's how bad it was.
We did that common news episode for your show the day before they announced all that shit, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad they did.
it happens every time. By the way, it's a curse.
But this time it was not a curse; it was a blessing. We had fun.
Another girlfriend of mine is an Adam Driver fan, like I am.
That's
And so, literally, she went and edited, and I literally have a copy somewhere of only Kylo Ren's scenes for the entirety of the 3 movies. And
I'm making a
it's,
face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not his best work, but it's still
No, I have no
visually
issue with. I have no issues with Adam Driver. I have issues with Kylo Ren.
So I'll derail my own show. What do we think? Your last about the rumor that Adam Driver has been cast as Reed Richards?
so fucking. Ooh.
I haven't even heard this rumor, so I have no real opinion on it. But I can see it honestly. I don't like. I think you could probably pull that off.
You know how I feel. He can do no wrong. I love everything he stands for. Off screen, on screen, the whole 9 yards. Like,
Except for that sequel trilogy.
oh
Anyway.
yeah, for sure. But
I mean, it's not his fault that the writing was bad.
That's fair.
no, it's
That's
not.
Like Daisy Ridley can't act, and the writing was bad. But Adam Driver is a great actor. Yeah, he was fantastic on Girls. Anyway, what was your what's your thoughts on that? Have you heard about it before right now?
Actually, I've not heard about this.
But you didn't combust, so.
Yeah, I didn't burst into flames, so that's something. I'll say this: he's at least the second best actor in the movie 65.
I actually enjoyed the movie.
There are only 2 humans.
I haven't.
Oh, that's right.
I
yeah.
haven't seen the movie, but yeah.
Not a fan, I would say.
I am not a fan of 65. I mean,
But I mean of Adam Driver in general.
actually, I liked him in the movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Married.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought he was very good in that. The problem is I haven't seen him in enough stuff. I've seen him primarily in the sequel trilogy, and
Oh, no, you
And
gotta
that'll
bring
ruin some shit for you.
and then 65, and he wasn't bad in that, but that movie was just not good.
So it was exactly like I said in the theater.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, it was,
The trailer for that played, and I'm like, this looks like every bad idea from Hollywood for the last decade.
It was made for a very specific audience in mind, me being that audience. And if you are not me or someone with my appreciations, then it wasn't for you.
Driver stands.
Exactly. Then it
I was thinking about
wasn't
that the
for
wrong
you.
time. I feel like maybe if there was no Last of Us, then maybe this would have stood a better chance of not winning trophy.
I can definitely get
But,
that.
But in terms of Adam Driver being Reed Richards, I'm like, that's a funny way to say John Krasinski. No, unfortunately, I don't think so either. And I mean, like he could do well as Reed. Is he my first choice? No, I would either. I think.
Who else would you do? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I would do an unknown. I think that the best thing you find yourself a Tom Holland, not in terms of like someone who's like Tom Holland,
But just clone someone like they do with Tom Holland.
Exactly. Yeah, make a clone that's perfect for Reed Richards, like Disney does with all of that. and then you get that clone to play the role.
I got you.
Yeah. But in terms of like people who are already in like the cultural zeitgeist for movies, off top besides John Krasinski, I don't know. But Adam Driver, I gotta say, if I sat down and made a list, I don't think he'd be in my top 5 or 10.
Really?
Yeah, not to say that he couldn't do it. I just don't look at him and see
Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that, actually. I like Adam Driver, and I think if they cast him, I think it's a bold choice. But I do think it's it's kind of an off the wall take. But then again, Heath Ledger wasn't off the wall.
That's true.
Yeah, honestly, because of that specific example, I don't like when people say, this actor's playing this character off the wall. Like hell, Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Yeah, I would. I mean,
fucking love it.
Just saying, like I was not expecting that out of him, but he blew it out of the fucking water. So I would definitely give it a chance.
Yeah. They're not going to give us a choice.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. I really do.
And this is, I don't know, this is not an official casting. It's just a rumor at this point. So
Okay.
it could, it's a rumor on the internet. We all know you can't print false things on the internet.
Now see, my hopes are up on these super bombs.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, back to Mandalorian.
We have to
Yeah, I did it that time. So, what's your overall thoughts on the season thus far?
You actually took the words out of my mouth earlier. I don't think that this is a bad season, but I don't like this as much as I like the first 2 seasons. Particularly in terms of like the finales or even the penultimate. I think that the action in these last 2 episodes are among the best that we've seen in the series, but the action has always been top notch, and I'm an action snob. I love that, but I think that the action for me really carried these last 2 episodes, especially the finale for me. With individual episodes, I think that this season is good, but when I put it all together, I think it's disjointed. I think that they had a bunch of really cool ideas that never fully got fleshed out. I think that they kind of stopped with certain plot lines to start other ones, and then those plot lines didn't get finished. That's just how it felt to me. But I mean, I think for me, like the biggest thing that I noticed when I finished was with seasons 1 and 2. When I got to the finale, I was like, I cannot wait to see what happens next. But this, it felt like all right, you just sailed up into the sunset. That kind of
Mhm.
feeling.
And
Yeah.
there's no after credits scene here, whereas the other two seasons had them.
Right.
Baron thought they were done. My husband thought I had to make him Google it. I was like, there's no way that was the last. Like, I would have heard about it.
Well, they do sort of set up for Din and Grogu to start doing jobs for the New Republic.
Right.
And Jon Favreau has already come out and said that season 4 has been completely written for a while. So I think that's the direction they're going to go with it. And I do think that we're going to see some, I think it's the next season is going to be like the first two where we're more focused on just like Din and Grogu's adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, which was like the entire Mandalorian culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna second what Ace said about how it felt disjointed. Like, what happened with that chick that was in the New Republic with the short haircut? I forget her name, but like, she just disappeared. We never heard nothing else about her. But I felt like she was supposed to be an important character. Like, I felt like they were reaching for that. Like, there was some crazy stuff going on with the New Republic, and like, but nothing ever came of it. And I think that the disjointedness and the just not flowing of the episodes was my biggest complaint. I actually loved the finale of this season. I don't think you need like huge major moments to make the finale incredible. I love that it was cohesive. It had some of the best action of the series. But I do agree with what you said about how it's very heavy on your Clone Wars characters. Like, I didn't know who Bo-Katan really was until I got to know her this season. And so yeah, as someone who hasn't watched Clone Wars, it was more of a struggle than season 1 or 2.
Yeah, and we were talking about like how the action like carries a lot of this. When you were on, we talked about episode 6.
Mhm.
That fight scene between Axe and Bo-Katan at the end of that might be my favorite fight scene in the whole show, because we don't get like, that's the first time I think we've ever got a 1v1 fight between two Mandalorians that
Fully
were that
equipped.
capable.
Also fully equipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they and like there was no like monologuing or anything. She stepped off the ship and was like, business. And they just started fighting. So,
Like jetpack dropkick. Yeah, done.
I know this isn't like what we're talking about now, but man, it got me thinking. I think my favorite fight in the series so far is still Din versus Maul in season 2. That
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
that's true. The emotional weight of that fight definitely was felt. I would have to agree with that.
But I really liked the scene in this finale with Din, where R5 is slowly letting all of the lasers down, and he has to take out these 2 packs of stormtroopers. I thought it was really good.
was cool.
Also, fuck yeah, R5. We finally got a droid that's not R2D2 in live action. It doesn't get just instantly destroyed. Oz, what's your thoughts on this season?
All right, so I actually felt this way from episode 1 and kind of until the end. Like, I felt the pacing was so weird.
It is
Like 100%. Like, it was just like some moments were really rushed, and then the next moments it was like, we're gonna drag this out a bit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Sure, cool. Something I felt like I noticed was like, we got a good episode, and then we got a subpar episode. Good episode, subpar episode. I was like, okay, sure, but I definitely agree with you guys. Like, the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, can't beat those. This season was definitely not it. Like, it was definitely the worst season of the series so far. I will say that the scenes with I can't remember his name. Grief.
Grief Karga.
Yeah, Grief Karga. I felt like that was just kind of forced in there. It felt like it was just a plot device to throw.
And tie the bow.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, sure, I guess. But like the finale, the action scenes were great. I did kind of find it like a little ridiculous that they had to make it stormtroopers with jetpacks to fight the Mandalorians, but who else is gonna fight them? So I guess whatever.
And Beskar Alloy.
Yeah, that's
oh god, like I'm over here like, how the fuck are you gonna explain this away? Like,
but they're on battle.
yeah, like I'm just saying, like, where's that in the sequel trilogy? Where are they gonna get rid of that shit?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, either one or two things happen, and this actually brings me into episode 7. Like, I don't want to go line by line on this, but there's a couple major things in episode 7 we got to talk about. But one of them is the reveal of the Imperial Shadow Council.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that's really only seen in the expanded universe until now. This is the first time it's ever been in live action. I want to say they reference it in some of the comics, but we've got all these different Imperial warlords, and they are kind of like conspiring to kind of continue the Empire, but try to lay low. And there's two big reveals in this scene. Number one is we actually see Hux, who is General Hux from the sequel trilogy's dad, and so he was on the Imperial Shadow Council. So one of two things happens: either they blew up Mandalore later, or found out, or came back here later, or for whatever reason, like, I mean, obviously we see later Gideon's whole base gets destroyed, so there is that. But you know, it's entirely possible the Mandalorians are like, well, this trilogy is going to suck. We're just going to sit this one out. So, yeah, maybe that happens. But the second big thing that happens in that scene is we get the Thrawn tease.
Yeah,
they dropped the name. They haven't dropped the name yet, have they? Into
Ahsoka says it in season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But nobody like that knows where he is has talked about him. I've been talking about this shit for 3 years. I was like, Admiral Thrawn is coming. They're setting up for it. These two are just like,
okay,
man. Well, yeah, sure. Finally got it dropped here. What do you guys think about this scene? Like, with these like Imperial warlords that are like hanging out here. Were you like surprised to see this happening, or is it kind of like you always kind of thought Gideon was kind of part of something?
Oh yeah, like while Moff Gideon is an amazing villain, I love this character. I've always felt that he was never pulling all the strings. He didn't seem like the top tier bad guy. He just seems like maybe a Don boss or something like that, you know.
Which, as an Anakin fangirl, he's trying real hard to be Vader here.
Oh my god.
Even with the closing the doors all fucking dramatically.
Not everybody can be Anakin though, but
he's trying to give himself the Force.
Yeah.
The clone thing, I thought that was actually really cool. Where he talked about how the one thing he kind of felt like he was missing was the Force, and he was like, "So I'm gonna try and make a clone of myself and give it the Force." And that, I thought that was really a cool.
That just canonizes midichlorians, though, and I'm just not happy about it. Not in my head.
The only person who's ever talked about fucking midichlorians is your favorite Jedi.
I know. That's not his fault. That was George Lucas's fault, okay?
Qui-Gon Jinn is superior to most.
Yeah, all I'm saying is midichlorians. Like they didn't say it, obviously, because like everyone knows when you say it, it just makes it worse. But the fact that he is basically using midichlorians to create clones too, you know, in his clone making process, it just
So you don't think that they're a thing?
No. Like the Force is a energy field that surrounds us and binds the universe together. It is not fucking microscopic organisms.
Oh my god.
We're not going to get into
this. My turn to derail is bitch.
Okay. The existence of midichlorians does not discount Obi-Wan describing the Force as a field that surrounds all things. It's like, think about the Force as like a radio station, right? That shit's like broadcast throughout the whole universe.
Sure.
And then like how well you can pick the radio station up, that's how many midichlorians you have.
Thank you for explaining it, because I was on the spot and I was trying to like make it make sense. Okay, there you go. See, you're a pro. You're a pro. I didn't realize I was fucking with a pro.
I don't know. I've never liked the midichlorian thing ever. I've never liked it.
I appreciate it. I mean, so like I've never had an issue with it because to me it's like the only thing that midichlorians really are is it's like somebody's natural attunement to the Force. It's not to say that you can't become better than that. Like obviously Anakin had the largest midichlorian count anybody's ever fucking seen, and Obi-Wan waxed that ass. So
sure he did.
And then, you know, like obviously, like it's the only way they could explain how like Rey doesn't have to train or anything. So
Yeah, so Disney uses their advantage.
So yeah, no. You're not helping your case with that part,
No, I
bro.
know I'm not.
Before the 3 most recent movies, I really liked the midichlorian stuff because it explained so much to me as a casual Star Wars fan at the time, because episode 1 is where they really kind of discuss it. And before Anakin became a more major character, I was a casual Star Wars fan. Like the 70s and 80s movies, I love them. I watched them with my dad. He is.
A little bit.
To learn the man behind the mask to then fully appreciate the man in the mask.
Yeah.
See? So I had so many fucking questions about the Force. And then, I don't know, just something about the midichlorian count really made me as a casual fan understand it better.
I would say this. I see both sides. I think I'm leaning slightly towards Oz's viewpoint in this. And it's because like this, right? Like there's certain things and nerd pop culture media that just you can't it needs to remain a mystery. There's some things that you just really can't, because if you try to explain certain things like the Force and try to break it down from a scientific basis, it's like you can, but then it kind of loses its savor.
It's the Joker's origin story.
It's the Joker's origin.
Don't want it.
You don't want to know it. You know, you want to be teased maybe, but you never want to hear the Joker's origin.
You don't want like a canon version. He
Yeah.
can tell it and it could be bullshit.
Yeah, it could be
But-
just,
But you don't want a canon. And I get that definitely with
Thank you, Ace.
the
Thank
Force. But I also hate the whole like, oh, anybody can be a Jedi.
I've never once thought that.
Nonsense.
No, I definitely agree. There's the limitations to the Force. I don't like them trying to scientifically explain away this whole mystery that is like the binding fabric of the universe.
But if there's no midichlorians, then like, why is Luke Skywalker not just some random guy, right? Like he's Vader's kid, but like, why is he not just some dude? If there's no midichlorians, like if the Force is not like hereditary in some way.
well, I mean, there's a lot of talents that are hereditary, you know? I mean, so it doesn't really have to be.
I mean, like to me, it's that whole thing, like in A New Hope, where Han shows up the last fucking minute to save Luke's ass. That was the Force, fucker. That is what that was. Most people don't fucking notice that shit.
May the plot be with you. We got it.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. All I'm saying is, like Han even foreshadowed it at the beginning, where he was like, it's a whole bunch of nonsense and stuff like that, and like he's like, no mystical force controls my destiny. Bullshit. Yes, it does.
Of course, yeah.
See
and
that?
that makes Han the science denier.
Oh god.
I actually I bring this up a lot because there's a lot of people that hate the Leia scene in Last Jedi. And
but most people.
And I don't actually hate it. I hate the way it's filmed. I think that the way that they animated it is bad, and it looks very Mary Poppins-ish or whatever.
It does.
But the fact that she could do that is not.
Well, yeah. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
And that's
like
where a lot of the arguments come from. It's like, oh, she shouldn't do that. We never saw her use the Force. I'm like, bullshit. She uses the Force in Empire to talk to Luke. Like she's a fucking Skywalker. Like,
yeah, 100%.
they came out the same vagina. We saw it.
We in fact did see it.
Yeah.
You saw a cut that I didn't see. I need to borrow that.
It's like, wait. I think I downloaded the wrong file.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh gosh, darn it! I'll have to go home and watch episode 1 through 3. Dang it!
I mean,
If I call you angry talking about I never got to see Natalie Portman's parts.
I'm sorry. I'm so upset.
Oh,
God. Okay, where were we? The Shadow Council.
Yes.
Alright, so at the end of this, we see Gideon. He's like, "Hey, we really got to get, we really got to get these. I need some reinforcements, right? I need a fleet." And then he says he wants 3 Praetorians, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, shit's done got real serious now." And if you don't know who the Praetorian Guard is, that's like the guys who hung out with the Emperor, right? Like they've got.
Oh yeah, them dudes in the cool ass red robes and the sticks with lightsabers on them.
like vibro, whatever.
Yeah.
They're, you know,
Yes.
we don't have to do
We don't have
that. You know, unfortunately, there was that horrible scene with a bunch of them in The Last Jedi that makes no fucking sense. But, you know, there's.
Oh yeah, those
guys, yeah.
See, I was just fine forgetting about them in that movie.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, they're pretty cool here.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
We just lost video. Whatever. We're just going to roll with it. We still got audio. It's fine.
Fuck it!
Yeah, that happened about 10 minutes ago. I noticed.
Is it?
5 to 10. Mm-hmm.
Great.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what the deal is, but I also don't care. So
Okay.
we still got audio. We're still recording. That's all I care about.
There you go.
I'll put in
Because it is a podcast.
I'm just gonna put in like
There you go.
We should all take pictures like that so you can do it.
yeah.
We're do some selfies, and we'll
We'll
take
do it.
selfies, and then we're just gonna
Each
roll like
holding
a
a
thing.
Funko and just like displaying it.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
so excited.
what
we really-
That's happening. That's happening. All right, so end of episode 7, we kind of get this big, like, you know, kind of tease for what's going to happen in 8. I gotta be honest, this ending to episode 7, didn't love it, and I'll tell you why. So we get this scene where the Mandalorians go in here and they get trapped by the blast doors, and Din and a couple of the other Mandos are on the other side, and Gideon's got all these people swarming, and the Praetorians haven't come out yet at this point. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't Bo-Katan cut through the door with a fucking saber? And she's just standing there letting this happen. And I'm like, maybe she doesn't have it. And then they're like, she'll cut through the other door. Like, this door was like fucking plexiglass. The other door was like solid, like whatever alloy.
Right?
They better be thankful he didn't make the doors out of Beskar. They'd have been fucked. But like, this made no sense to me as like there's this whole like, 5-minute scene where they're capturing Din and she doesn't fucking cut through.
Oh yeah, like at the very least, she could have started and then them take off with him. That would have been acceptable. But like, she didn't even fuck.
She just stood there.
Right, she was like,
What?
another one bites dust.
Jen did that shit right off the fucking bat when that shit when those blast doors in episode 1. Right off the fucking bat. It was like, fuck this shit. I'm getting in here. Like, she has a dark saber. Motherfucker, use it!
She mistook Din's Beskar for plot armor. Like, he'll be fine.
I mean, she wasn't wrong.
She knew Grogu had him.
Oh, yeah, that's
She
right.
was like, nah, they ain't gonna do that.
I also didn't super love Gideon's like ultra mega suit.
Me either.
It just seemed a little Power Rangers to me.
It was like Power Rangers meets Darth Vader, and it just didn't mesh well.
It was weird, right? Because it's like, literally, like when it comes to like the Mandalorians in this show, I typically love all of their unique outfits, and
Yeah.
for some reason with Moff Gideon's get up here, I was like,
Something else I noticed about
Like,
Gideon.
was too caping or something.
Oh yeah, he had all the cape. He had all the cape in this shit.
He's also in this episode, like, I love his delivery most of the time, but he's just mustache twirling as fuck.
He is.
He is.
Very exposition.
More.
Who is the chick from Incredibles, the small one who does? She made his outfit. No bullshit.
Edna Bolts.
Moff Gideon's ensemble.
No capes.
But she gave him a cape.
Gave him a cape. Oh god. Did y'all notice something about Moff Gideon in this episode though? Like the you don't notice it in episode 7, but you notice it in 8. Is he mechanically powered?
Yeah, like the suit has
Like, what the
motors
fuck?
and shit in it.
How much? Like how much?
That's how we're starting the recording.
I ain't afraid of it yet. All right, it's fucking stupid.
We're back. We're back. What were we talking about?
Mandalorian.
This is the most technical difficulties I've ever had on an episode. Thank you, H, for bringing your.
We were talking about the ending of episode 7.
Yeah,
And why
How Bo-Katan should have used that fucking dark saber.
Yes.
why she
Somebody
didn't
should've fucking
lightsaber
used
the
it.
saber.
Yeah, somebody should have been like, "Give me that shit."
No
You know what I
kidding.
mean?
It's like one of those situations where, like, if you don't, if you're not gonna share it, then I'm gonna break it. It's one of those.
Let's talk about that scene. sorry, but there's no fucking planet that Moff Gideon crushes the Darksaber with his hand.
I gotta say, yeah, as soon as we're talking about the Darksaber, let's talk about this, because, like, in the finale, there's very few things, like I really like the finale, right?
Yeah,
The thing I like the least about it is that.
Oh God, I was so mad.
This whole thing of him crushing the Darksaber.
So stupid.
It was so stupid.
Like, they've been building up this bullshit for like 2 fucking seasons about this goddamn sword. And he just, like, and he being the one who wielded it for most of season 2, and, like, been kind of wanting to get it back. And his thought is to break it?
Yeah.
Well, if you could do that, Darth Vader at that point in his life would have been crushing everybody's saber. Just freaking, like, absolutely.
Well, so I don't think that, and this is going to get into nonsense, but I don't think you can crush one with the Force. But I think with a mechanically powered arm, yes, I think you could.
Yeah, like, honestly, the fact that it happened wasn't really the issue. It was more of the fact that why would he think to do that? He wants that fucking sword.
Well,
why?
And it's not only that; it's that it's not satisfying at all. Like you kind of would want Bo-Katan to have it at the end of this. Now, if the crystal is still intact and maybe they reforge it out of like Beskar or something, that would be fucking cool.
That would be dope. But that's probably what they're gonna do.
But then that gets into like, okay, who's gonna do that? Because like the armorer would have to do it, but I think you need a Jedi too, like to be able to do the inner workings of it.
Well, Grogu has the Force.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to build a lightsaber.
Well, who built the Darksaber to begin with?
The original Mandalorian was on the like he got his from the Jedi.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he went and joined the Jedi Council. He later left, but I mean, fortunately for Bo-Katan, she has a good friend, maybe right here in front of me, who not only is an expert in building lightsabers, but also purifying lightsaber crystals. So maybe
that could be an Ahsoka.
So it becomes the white saber. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, it would be dope. They could just flip it, have it a lightsaber with the lockout.
Yeah. I think my problem with it, yes, I do have a problem with it that it got crushed when it was such a cool weapon and they made such a big deal out of it.
I mean, it's like the most legendary lightsaber, basically. I mean,
yeah,
to an extent.
Yeah, and now they don't crush it. But also my issue with it is that how it was used, as a plot device for character development, it failed, or the writing failed, I should say.
She didn't.
Yeah, but even before Bo-Katan, I feel like Din, not only did he not attune to it, I feel like he never really got the uses from it that he initially had it for, because you got the idea that, okay, if it's something with his self-doubt or if it's something that he's holding on to, he needs to let that go, and then maybe he can more properly, attune to it. That never happens, though.
No.
And
Nobody wants to whip it out.
Well, so what it is with that?
They don't. It's frustrating.
So I actually know the answer to this, but this doesn't undo your point because the show didn't explain this. It's the Darksaber, it becomes heavier or more unwieldy based on like how, like you said, attuned to it you are. But it's like the purpose of it, right? So like Din never had any intention of actually taking up the blade and leading the Mandalorian. So he was never going to become more proficient with it than he was.
They did mention it while he was fighting Homeboy in Book of Boba Fett.
The armor's talking to him.
Yeah.
They don't really explain it.
Exactly.
And then you see Bo-Katan get it, and she's basically the best lightsaber user that it doesn't have the Force that you've ever seen. And it makes sense because her entire destiny, her entire life is based around holding this blade and like being this figure for the Mandalorian. So it makes sense that the blade wants to be used by her. But the show just did a bad job of explaining that.
I don't feel like Bo-Katan used it a whole lot. Like we just talked about how she didn't use it to save Din. Like I don't know.
Like
she uses it is in that episode where he gets captured, which is a great episode.
Yes, it is.
Like to me, like the main, like the biggest moment she used it in was when they're flying towards the, like after she gets her fleet and she pulls it out and holds it like Superman. I'm like, why the fuck?
Also in that scene, which I loved, I was like, man, whoever the armorer is with that fucking hammer,
yes. Oh yeah.
Every stormtrooper she hit with that shit. It's like the best you can hope for is that you are severely concussed as you fall to your death. That's the best case scenario.
For sure.
Also, isn't me or is Mando losing all of his cool shit? Like he had the cool ass Beskar spear. I get it. They smelted that down. He relinquishes the dark saber to Bo-Katan. I was like, I get that. You know that even that checks out. What happened to his cool ass rifle?
The rifle was on the Razor Crest.
Oh, yeah, to the Razor Crest. Yeah.
Yeah, the Razor Crest exploded.
All of his cool ass shit, and I'm like, he has like just the fucking the blaster.
So is it me? Like I popped when I first saw the Naboo cruiser. I did, but now I'm over it.
Yeah, it's
like,
terrible shit for now.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I don't want that shit anymore. Like I was like, oh god, that's a fucking Naboo cruiser. Wait a minute. Why the fuck would he drive this?
Like you can live in the Razor Crest. The Razor Crest was the shit.
Yeah,
it was.
So
maybe Bo will let him get Slave 1 and he can use that.
I'd be actually really down for that because like Slave 1 is just kind of chilling.
I mean, I need people to get hit with seismic charges.
Fuck yes.
Basically, the only thing I'm still around for. when they had that episode in season 2 where like they started chasing it,
I was like, you're fucked.
please let a seismic charge out. And when they showed the back of the ship and the thing came out, like the seismic charge came out, it exploded and I exploded. Like,
Are we getting more Boba Fett? Do we know? No, it hasn't been announced.
I
know you weren't a fan of the 80s biker gang.
As a matter of fact, that is the worst out of all the things on Star Wars Disney Plus. That is the worst thing.
Yeah, I'm like, bruh. Like, I'm cool with Speeder Bike Gang. I'm not cool with the 1950s fucking, like, neon-colored robots.
They rev the bikes and they don't go any faster. Like,
nope.
Why does the Speeder Bike Gang bike move at 5 miles per fucking hour?
Yeah, they seem like the type of people who settle beefs with dance offs.
Oh my god, it's the best though.
In certain circumstances, that's okay. But
if they had done that, I would be fine with it. They did.
This doesn't belong in the Book of Boba Fett.
And they don't even have a Twi'lek, I don't think. So,
right?
They're going to lose the dance.
Are Twi'leks notoriously good dancers?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they are.
The more you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And pretty much every time you see like a cantina or like a dancer or whatever, it's almost always a
unless it's
like
mission based.
Jabba's palace. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Unless it's missions.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh man. Representation for the Twi'leks.
Yeah.
Stop sexualizing them.
And there's that one Jedi you see. That's damn it. What's her name? I'm not gonna go down that path. But yeah, you see her just get gunned down in episode 3.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's really Jedi.
Son of a gun.
So, to your point though, I agree. Like he had all this cool shit,
and it's all gone.
I think we'll see Boba Fett in the movie that's going to wrap all this up. So one of the things they announced at Star Wars Celebration, Dave Filoni is making his own film, and it's supposed to tie up all of these like kind of plot threads and storylines and stuff.
So the Filoni-verse movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
And it's probably going to be, if they call it Heir of the Empire, then I'm going to be ace for this and be like, if you're going to call it Heir of the Empire, you better fucking make Heir of the Empire, which is the Thrawn story.
Can you all go see it and do a review?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm down.
Yes.
Hey, so if God forbid, but if the movie is bad, will it be Filoni baloney?
I will join you in saying that in unison.
Yes. So if you're listening to this, the audio dropped out again.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry about that. And we had to restore it. Aren't you glad you didn't celebrate 420?
Oh God!
Jesus Christ!
I didn't need to. Yeah, I didn't need to.
By the way, this is a 420 episode of Entertainment Involved, and none of us are partaking in it. Even though listening to this, you might doubt that.
Yeah.
As we giggle incessantly. So, in the finale here, we kind of got a bunch of different plot threads. We got Din and Grogu kind of doing their own thing. What's the table think about the Grogu mech? Because I thought it was dope.
Oh god, I loved it. I already know you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be like, this is a kid. No. But I loved it.
So, as far as giving Grogu something other than, I'm good.
You can give it the rule of cool.
I will give it a rule of cool.
They gave him a fucking assassin droid mech, though.
But he doesn't use it.
He doesn't.
No, yes and no. That's all he fucking does. He's 50 years old.
Mentally.
He's like 52 now. For 2 years.
Yeah, so 52. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. He should be able to fucking talk. All I'm saying is, like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
I thought the yes no button was gonna get real old, but it never did.
And I will say that is the best part of it. That is the best part of
It
it.
never got old to me.
But the fact that he was walking around with his fucking thing and didn't use it really at all, except for to walk around, which he can already do.
Yeah, they should have gave him a gun. Yeah, I agree.
A gun, a vibroblade,
I
something.
also can see why Jen didn't.
Yeah, but you can 52-year-old
killing everything.
It sounds so much.
But he put him in a murder bot.
to his credit, wanted to take him out of the suit.
And he said, no.
No.
But
I will say for Q factor, it did hit the mark. But
I thought it was nice for all 15 seconds. I think about the same time that it grew thin with Den, it grew thin with me.
I mean, that's a fair assessment. I'm not hating that at all.
Did the scene where he adopts him pull on your dad heartstrings a little bit? Just a little bit? Oh yeah, I knew it was.
I fucking teared up. No joke. Oh God.
Because I cried like a bitch.
I was like, why is this affecting me like this?
I mean, it was dope.
When he was like, and now he'll be known as Din Grogu.
Yeah, I was like, great. Another name for the fucking casual to not call him.
It's Baby Yoda. No, it's Din Grogu.
That's another red flag for me to know I don't want to talk to somebody about fucking Star Wars.
So
I could beat that guy, but I was like, your dad's gonna die before you even fucking able to talk.
God, that was dark.
I mean, that's what mine would be like. This is kind of like, what's the point of this? That's like if I'm 92 years old and I decide to adopt a 3-year-old. That's not.
No, I'm not. You're not a dad. I'm cool. Go ahead.
Hey, listen. I'm sorry for bringing logic into this.
No, he's gonna be like 3-year-olds can talk.
Yeah.
And I know that.
I can't fucking understand them.
Oh well, that's fair. Yeah, they don't. They can't conversationally,
right?
But they can let you know you fucked up.
At 3 they can conversationally talk. They're only
not with me.
I've never had that happen.
Hell, you can barely have a conversation with my 13-year-old, sir.
I mean,
And he's your squire.
That's how things should be.
Oh.
Can't argue that. The fuck were we talking about?
we were talking about the end of the season where Grogu goes down to the water.
Yeah, so Grogu.
Comes Din Grogu.
So another name for them to not call him.
Yeah.
Fucking A. So before we get into that, I do want to talk about the whole clash we see with the Mandalorian army. So what I thought when Axe takes off in episode 7, so I'm gonna go get help. He flies up to the fleet, which I did not know he was going surface to air with the jetpack.
Right? I'm over here there's got to be a ship he can just hop into real quick. No, motherfucker's jetpacking it.
Okay, how much fuel you got, dog?
For real.
Anytime Star Wars talks about fuel, is bad.
No, that took me down a dark Google search. They have the gravity jetpacks now, and from this company Gravity in Australia, they're $400,000. The military's getting them. But they have, do you know how long you can fly on this jetpack for $400,000? 15 minutes!
I say if we all take out loans, put some liens on your houses, take out second mortgages, I think that
they're going to have to get more than 15 minutes. You can't do shit in 15 minutes. We can get me a cool jetpack for 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, we split in that shit. It's like
5 minutes
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $400K for something you tease for 15 minutes at a time. That's ridiculous.
So
Yeah, y'all got this. Y'all got this.
if you stop buying comics and I stop buying
Everything.
it's not gonna happen.
here, we can share this.
I got so excited. I blew the paper.
Oh my god.
This episode has been a blast, guys.
So I loved this whole scene with Axe. I kind of thought he was like this really generic kind of character before this, but
Mhm.
when he flies up there, I'm like, well, if this was Palpatine's operation, there's no fleet up there. It's been destroyed.
Right.
But the fleet was up there. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he gets in the cruiser, and I'm like, okay, they're about to fight these guys. But no, like he straight up had a plan. He's like, get the fuck out of here. The Mandalorians evac. I don't know why they were like, get them to the evac ships or whatever. Like they were like, we all got jetpacks. I was just gonna fly out.
What you did with doses?
But then he went to town, dude. I love this scene. It might be one of my favorite scenes, like where he's just like fighting all these bombers and interceptors, and those TIE interceptors are ridiculous.
Like honestly, they're my favorite TIE fighters.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, if you play any of the games or any of that shit, the TIE fighters are cannon fodder, but you do not want to fight a bunch of interceptors.
No.
They're nuts. And so, yeah, I mean, he literally, I thought he was going to go down with the ship.
Yeah, same.
So,
And then he just jetpacked out of there at the last minute.
Yeah.
My backpack has jet.
and as it turns out, he had the best plan out of anybody in this finale because he's like, well, I'm just going to drop this fucking cruiser on the base.
Do you think Moff Gideon survived?
I think that they should have made sure he was dead because
I 100% agree.
I think that version of Moff Gideon is dead. I think his clone is still wandering around out there.
But what are the odds that that fire vaporized the suit?
I don't know, but when they were showing the clones, when the thing broke and they were all coming out, I really, for just a half a second before I remembered it was on Disney Plus, thought we were going to see 10 nude Moff Gideons walking around.
Yeah, you have to watch The Boys for that.
Like, oh no, and then it cut scene.
Yeah.
What if Moff was still alive? He just looks like he did in Breaking Bad.
Oh my God.
In Face Off?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I really hated the death scene here for him because they left it wide open for him to still be.
That was
around.
my problem. I was like, go look for the body. Go check for the body.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And it was just like he's in this ultra like Beskar suit.
Mm-hmm.
The fire's not gonna evaporate it. Nothing can do that. So it's like, and then he's just gone. Like obviously they left it open for him to still be around. And really, I don't know that there's any purpose for him to serve unless Thrawn just like murders him, like straight up. Which
Opening
is, I think,
scene.
what happened. Yeah, right. Yeah, he just like Thanos, like Loki's him, and just kills him. Yeah. Honestly, that's pretty much the only thing left for him to really do. Because like this conflict has been resolved twice now.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And there's nothing to fight over anymore.
3 times. He got shot out of the sky in the first season 1.
He did, but we didn't even know he was in that TIE fighter at the time. I don't think.
But just saying.
Yeah.
I did actually like the ending moments of that fight scene because most of the fight scenes with Moff Gideon at the end of this episode, I thought it was alright, but again, just so hokey with the suit, I just couldn't get into it. But the ending sequence when you had Bo, Din, and even Grogu fucking power sliding.
There were a lot of power slides in this entire fight, man. Like,
Call of Duty.
I'm all about the rock star life, but y'all all got to hit that power slide all at the same time.
It makes sense for Bo-Katan to do it because it's her thing.
It is her thing. But why did Dan all have to start fucking doing it? Like,
He never did that shit before. He just like walks slowly at you like a fucking like a serial killer, and then they play a little. And then shoots you.
Yeah, they shoot you. Like he might even like activate the little rockets on his shoulder and just like that might happen. But
what happened to the whistling birds?
Yeah, he lost everything.
he lost it all. Like, and he had to do a makeshift fucking, like he had to steal one of the stormtroopers' jetpacks. That was some bullshit.
He kept stealing their weapons. He didn't have a fucking weapon.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He was badass as fuck in that scene. Like, all the way through.
That scene. That was my
Yeah,
favorite
sorry.
scene in that finale.
That was a cool scene.
I'll be honest. Like when he goes to fight the Praetorians, I was like, if he 1v3s these fucking Praetorians, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah, he was like, well, I can't remember that Mandalorian's name, but dude with the massive Gatling gun.
Maz Vizsla.
Yeah, like when he goes down, like don't get me wrong, I felt it was needless. He didn't need to, but when he went down, like he's a badass.
Yeah,
and they took him down hardcore.
I liked him.
And I'm over here like, if Din Djarin takes them out easily, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off.
Yeah. and I actually ended up really loving the way they did it.
Oh yeah, me too.
With
Like
Grogu just trolling the shit out of him. like these Praetorians set the game on fucking ultra hard mode. It's like, okay, you're gonna fight a Mandalorian in pure Beskar armor. However, there's just gonna be a fucking little 50-year-old Jedi baby just trolling this shit out.
Like, you can't hit him, but he's just gonna keep force pushing you until you stop.
Stop it yourself.
Like I will say, like leading, like I was actually almost gonna be pissed during the final fight with Moff Gideon. What, like if Grogu didn't try to do some shit?
Yeah.
Because like I was like, why isn't Grogu helping? And as soon as I said that, he did. I was like, okay, good, I'm good.
Yeah.
A little delayed there, buddy, but we're good.
Yeah, I mean, he's 50.
But we don't know how his species ages.
So, I mean, it's weird because like Yoda was like 800 and something.
Yeah.
And it's just like
900.
maybe it is 900, but I'm like, okay.
By the time he dies, I think.
I'm like, okay, even if he was 1,000, 50 years old is like 5% of your lifespan. So by 5%, you should be able to talk. We don't know. I just hope that when he finally does talk, that he doesn't talk like Yoda, that they don't do the like backwards speech thing, because there's nowhere he would have learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also hope that they do not condemn him to this fucking Rey movie, which I feel like 100% they will do.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Oh yeah, because he'll be like 100.
No.
Yeah. She's opening up a Jedi Academy, probably going to call herself Rey Windu, and since she's just an identity thief.
Right.
She's an identity thief. We can't just overlook that.
I can't
That is like the Disney special. Let's take something great that exists in now non-existent canon and apply it to this thing that doesn't work.
Damn, that was super deep there, sir.
But
true.
I think that they will put Grogu in that fucking.
No, because like you were saying, they've got to have the right voice actor for Grogu. They do, and he can't do the backward speech because you learn speech. So he's only heard Mandalorians talk and stuff like that. So he should talk normally.
He should talk like that. like very broken, short sentences. That's it.
He needs to say, "I can bring you in warm."
I'll lose my shit. Whoever puts that in there, if they put that in there.
Hey, at least it'll be one of the sequel movies that I'll actually want to watch. Like,
yeah, that's true.
For him, not for
him.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm dreading the existence of that.
I'm kind of hoping for like an Anakin style for her academy.
No, they will not.
I know they won't do it, but
and they can't burn down yet another Jedi Academy. If they do, then they just gotta stop making it.
I mean, hell, that was the plot of KOTOR 2.
Yeah.
These things are just damn.
But I am also really excited about the pre-Old Republic James Mangold movie.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be like about the dawn of the Force or whatever. So
I love.
It could be really cool, or they could do like you said, and they just start explaining a bunch of shit that doesn't need to be explained, and they could fuck it up. So we'll see.
There's a strong possibility of that happening.
Who's writing it? Do you know?
If we're lucky, James Mangold is writing and directing.
Okay.
And that would be great. Now, I just want to point out to everyone who may be listening to this in the future that we are having this discussion before Indiana Jones 5 is released. And so if that movie comes out and is terrible, then we are in no way responsible for any of these comments about James Mangold being amazing. He's directing it.
There's a fifth one?
You seen
Oh
the
my
trailer?
gosh.
No.
Oh,
It
are you
is.
serious?
Yes.
In a couple months. right?
Harrison Ford is
It looks like
leading
Crystal
that
Skull
bitch.
too, bro.
Leading it.
I hate this because up until now, James Mangold, I thought he was amazing, but I don't know.
There's like no chance in that movie.
They-
That movie didn't need to happen.
The only way is maybe they're just showing us the indie shots and they're gonna have a secondary like hero come out upon it.
It's
we don't
Phoebe,
want that.
right? I'm pretty sure it's Phoebe Waller, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want that either.
But that's what's gonna happen.
Look, if you want to see Harrison Ford like run around and shoot people, just watch 1923. Like, and it works because he actually plays an old man.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about this final fight with Gideon. I thought that the suit was kind of a little much. I mean, just as far as like everything he could do. We talked about him crushing the Darksaber.
Yeah.
But I did really appreciate that.
Hold on. He didn't just crush the Darksaber. He crushed Bo-Katan's hand into the Darksaber.
That's true.
That would have hurt like a bitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it would.
Like, she would be able to use her fucking hand after that.
It'd be me.
Exactly.
I did like that it took like all three of them to take him down. Like I liked that aspect of it where like
I guess Din beat him in season 2. By himself.
yeah, but he didn't have the suit.
So?
But see, in that moment, which you didn't see, is that he was like, "Where is my super suit?"
Shut it! God damn it.
Oh yeah, and he had fucking Luke Skywalker bail him out.
Oh god.
So
But if Ben didn't do the damn thing, then Luke would have got there, and it just would have been, oh shit.
It's like, oh, well.
Luke would have been like, "Oh, a Mandalorian corpse. Haven't seen one of those."
Right? Yeah, no.
That's where you I saw. I docked him into a pit.
Fuck that guy. He still doesn't know who did.
He really. Luke is out there living his best life.
Yeah,
he
he's
don't
like-
care.
He got droids building this shit. And like, he good.
He's like, I swear, if we don't get in either the Ahsoka show or in this Filoni movie, if we don't get a scene of Ahsoka talking to Luke about Anakin, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Like
He's got to do it.
they already have confirmed though that we're gonna get that Hayden Christensen is gonna be in this Ahsoka show. We are gonna get some flashbacks of the two of them, and I'm like, so get Ewan McGregor on the phone too.
And
let's
fix
just
that
go-
bullshit
let's just
that
go-
Obi-Wan.
I guess I'm the only person here that liked Obi-Wan sitting here.
I mean, the character's great.
I love the
Yeah.
character. The character's great.
I use his picture as my icon on Disney Plus.
He's great.
Could a whole lot of it have been cut? Absolutely. But did we get some really fucking awesome scenes out of it too?
There's a version on the place that is just it cut into a
That's-
movie.
I think I just need to go watch that and I'll be alright.
And they cut out all the problem with that show is like the hype was like
Problem with that show is
Yeah,
that
like the
Leia
hype,
child.
like
the late child and
But she won't be young forever.
God.
she will eventually not be 10.
Yeah.
And the fact that what was her is it Reva?
Yeah, Reva.
They took an amazing actress and gave her a shit script. And yeah, anyway, I don't want to do this.
We
did
did
that
that
for your
on-
show.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so if you want to hear our full thoughts about how much we hated that fucking show, Superhero Homies
Yes,
Patreon, go dig
yes.
that fossil up. But yeah, you're the only person here that liked it.
You know, I just think I took it for what it was. And
So did we.
it was Hayden Christensen playing Darth Vader, okay?
No. So I never like everything that he was doing was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the fact that we actually got some like Hayden in the suit, and,
Fucking amazing. I wouldn't trade a shitty script and some dry scenes and a super child for losing that.
No. If I had the option of like they didn't make it at all, or we got what we got, if those are my only two options, I'll take
Because
it.
that fight's
Because
between
these are
him and Ewan.
Gotta make it make it.
You gotta make it right. Those are the options.
Those are options.
Yeah, these are the options.
Yes, because the
That was
scene with
nice.
him and Ewan, the fight scene, like, it was good.
I agree. Like if those are the choices of like they either don't make it at all or we got what we got, then sure, I'll take it. But like those were not the choices. The choices were we could get like this, like it should have. The whole show should have been this whole like Vader hunting down Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like I would have been fine with having the kid Leia in there for like 2 episodes, like as the original thing to draw him out. And then that's it. Then like, bitch, you go home to Alderaan and like just wait.
Yeah.
You know. And every time they were on Alderaan, I was like, all these people are gonna die.
Last one up.
They're like, you're the only person who's gonna survive. Oh, and Kara.
Yeah.
Who doesn't exist anymore.
I'm just glad I got you around to Andor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The shit.
You have watched it, yes.
You've watched
You
it
have
now?
not.
You gotta watch Andor, dude.
Bro, it is actually really good.
Oh my
For real.
It's way fucking better than this season.
I mean, it's a little slow starting, but once it picks up,
God, it's good.
You gotta get to episode 3. I mean, I know that's a lot because it's a long show, but if you can get to episode 3, you're in it.
I mean, I watched Ant-Man.
He watched every episode of fucking Batwoman
I
on
did.
CW, and that never
Oh
got
my
any.
god, what?
He watched 22 hours. If you ever want to know who the most dedicated podcaster here is, it's him. Like,
No
we don't have to,
kidding.
because I couldn't sit through half of an episode of that.
No.
It was dark times. I mean,
He's like, I got to bitch about it later. I'm good.
All right, so I want to go around the table and score the season, and then I want to talk about what's coming in the future.
For sure.
So,
Are we doing out of 10?
Yeah, we'll do out of 10. Oz, we'll start with you.
I think I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Okay.
It was good enough to keep my attention, and it kept me like I loved all the Mandalorian lore, and just seeing the Mandalorians actually fucking kick ass. But like I said, the pacing was weird, so that knocked off a lot of points. There were a lot of needless scenes and one needless episode that really had nothing to do with this season whatsoever.
Which one was that?
I'm referring to homeboy that the former.
That is my throat, like.
Yeah, that fucker. Like that episode meant nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than to remind us from season 2.
I actually like the New Republic stuff.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It was great lore building. However, it had nothing to do with
they gotta flush
Mandalorian.
it
Yeah, a lot of this was great lore building, but there's no focus.
Oh,
They
yeah,
need
no
a
focus.
New Republic show.
Yeah, give me a New Republic show. I'm 100% down for it. But this just didn't do it for me. And like, yeah, 7.5. That's my score.
Gotcha. Lauren?
So I thought about an 8 for a minute, but as he talked more,
Let's talk to you about it.
I'm going 7 because there are whole episodes that either I don't remember what the heck happened, it didn't need to happen, there's too many side quests going on with the New Republic stuff. Like, if I'd have got like a half-naked Pedro Pascal, we could have gave him an 8. I don't care what happened, but
I feel like that's against Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He can't even take his helmet off.
when he was getting in the water.
He should have had just the helmet off.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what? I'm sure there's porn about that.
I think the Mandalorian too. It was like, so when they procreate, never mind.
Don't even.
They keep the helmets on.
You know what? You know what, Ace? Some things are best left unexplained.
Helmet stays on. Feel like there's any explanation needed. Helmet stays on.
It's like socks. He was helmet on or helmet off kind of guy.
You just hear helmets bumping in the other room.
Ding, 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 ding.
Well, they're best. You don't have to worry about it.
I mean, yeah, like it's.
Oh my god. Ace, do you want me to go or you want to go?
I can go.
Okay.
I'm actually with Lauren on this one. I give it a 7. I thought that the season again has some really cool moments, has some really excellent fight scenes, and even something that you and I spoke about when I was on earlier for, I think we covered episode 3 of this season. We were both surprised that they handled the situation of Din basically getting reaccepted as a full-blown Mandalorian so quickly. Like that was done in
Yeah.
like, what, 2 episodes.
That's what I was referring to. That pacing
Yeah.
shit. It's like just like,
Well,
motherfucker, that was quick.
and at the time we thought that meant that the pacing was going to be good. We were like, oh, we're just getting into it here,
So
like,
we're gonna,
and then we spun
but-
tires.
And then I know the next episode was like a full New Republic episode or something.
Yeah, and like you said, Oz, the pacing was weird and all over the place, and it goes hand in hand with how disjointed this season felt. And again, like I did enjoy episode 3 as a standalone episode, but looking back at it, it didn't really have that big of an impact on the entirety of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And
The only thing it had in common with the rest of the season is the beginning when you saw Bo-Katan and Din, and then at the end when you saw Bo-Katan and Din. Like, it didn't make anything.
that's true. And even with like The Last of Us when they did it, like at least we got to see how that changed our primary characters. Whereas here,
They weren't even aware that this shit was going on.
Right.
Like, what duty did this serve?
Maybe the Mr. Miyagi guy.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we were building his character.
I can't remember that guy's
I
name.
can't ever
But
remember
I
his
feel like
name.
calling him Mr. Miyagi is a tad bit racist. I can't shake it.
No, not at all. He's just very knowledgeable. Gosh darn it.
It's that he's knowledgeable.
Oh, that's what it is.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah. And perhaps he knows martial arts.
Right.
That's got to be part of the training at the academy. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna get canceled.
I mean, fuck it.
We had a good run.
Yeah, good run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were almost at the end of the season. It's fine. Yeah, I gotta score this thing. Yeah, so I agree with all of your points actually. I think that they were trying to tell us too many stories. They're trying to show us why the New Republic failed. They're trying to tell us about Din and Grogu. I thought Grogu should have been gone longer. I think having him come back in Book of Boba Fett was a mistake. I think that maybe he should have showed up in like the next to the last episode here or something.
Yeah.
Like I get that they wanted to have, the show is about Mando and Grogu. It always has been, and Grogu is unfortunately, and I love Grogu, but he's the moneymaker here.
He is.
It just is what it is. He is the first Star Wars character to really break into the cultural zeitgeist since fucking 2004. Like, it's just how it is. So, I get that they have to put him in the show, but like, we're trying to tell that story. We're trying to rebuild IG-11, which was a weird way for them to get into the mech thing, and they finally did it, and it didn't really feel satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to tell the story of Navarro. I like the fact that Navarro is evolving from what we saw it as originally.
I can agree with that.
But it's just like they're trying to tell us all these things, and yeah, maybe we're interested in them, but they're trying to tell us, like, they're trying to pack fucking 8 seasons of television into 8 episodes.
We kind of glossed over one episode. What about the Buddy Cop episode with Bo-Katan and Din Djarin at Jack Black's planet?
So listen,
Me and him.
No, I love Jack Black. I love Jack Black with a passion. However, I do feel that this episode was random as fuck.
it was random, but I did like that we got all the separatist droids, and I like that fucking Christopher Lloyd was a fucking separatist. I was like,
Yes.
fucking separatist?
Oh yeah, like
Like,
this was.
I think you lost, bro.
Honestly, I kind of felt like this was that independent wrestling show. Like, oh, we got all these names. We're gonna throw it on this card.
I'm always a fan of more Jack Black, however.
That's true.
Like, I will watch anything with Jack Black in it except for Neverending Story 3. Fuck that shit. But, like, anything else, I mean.
That's fair. That's
so
fair.
I was like, yeah, Lizzo and Jack Black seemed a little out of place here, but
A little bit.
I'm not that mad about it.
No, I'm not mad. I wasn't mad. Just
If it was all for a Christopher Lloyd cameo, I'm down. I'll be honest.
I
mean-
love that Lizzo's character was obsessed with Grogu, though, because that would have been me. I'm like, give me 100% been me.
don't get me wrong. I enjoyed these characters. I enjoyed the buddy cop aspect. I'm a buddy cop movie fan. However, I just felt it was, like you said, disjointed from the whole series.
Yeah.
Like
No,
the whole purpose of doing this buddy cop movie was so they could get to the other Mandalorians.
So much of this season, right, had felt like a video game, and this definitely felt like a video game.
Like, because it was not even close to the tone of anything else in this whole show.
I was like, this is a Mass Effect side quest. I need to go talk to you, and you tell me I need to go handle this problem so I can go get this thing from you, and then at the end I get a reward. That's what happened.
Yeah, the more angry I get, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Actually,
Yeah, I think I'm dropping mine to
a solid 7 with
to a
me.
solid 7. Yeah, like yeah.
Yes,
I forgot about that episode completely. So
I didn't want to be with them, so. And I couldn't come up to you.
Giving 6.5 to Mandalorian.
I am.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest.
There's something that stings about that,
A
though.
6.5 is still So let me be honest. I still enjoyed the season.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a bunch of times where I was just like,
Huh?
I mean, it was like, we covered 3 episodes right here in this room, and the reason that it was like that was because I hadn't watched them.
I
Like,
know.
and in the previous seasons, I was awake at 3 a.m. no matter what I was doing the next day to watch the shit when it dropped on Disney Plus. I did not do that once in this season. Not one time.
There were a couple of times where I didn't even watch it on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I watched the finale like a couple hours ago.
I hope you watched the finale.
Yeah. He's just winging it.
Yeah.
100% winging it.
You've done a great job.
So before we wrap up, what do you guys know we know about the future? The next thing we've got is the Ahsoka show. Obviously, I'm ridiculously hyped for that. Has anybody not seen the trailer? I'm guessing you have not seen
I have not.
Actually, I have not.
Oh, shit.
Well,
I have. I'm really hyped. I had heard the Hayden Christensen rumors.
Yeah.
And
you got first dibs on the reviews for the show now since you've seen the trailer.
thank you so much.
Oh, that's how that
Because
So I love how you only bring me in for the finale episode, though. Like that's happened multiple times.
There was only 4 episodes that I did,
And I've only been on one of them.
That's true. Well, I gave Brendan your episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
how does that feel? How does that?
Y'all are lucky they ain't video. Like,
Staring daggers.
Brendan, you ain't my friend no more. Like,
He's definitely gonna listen to this too.
just kidding, buddy. I need somebody to pick on.
Have you watched, since we're talking about things we're going to review, have you watched Seven Kings Must Die yet?
I have not.
It's so good.
I know. Yeah, I have not watched it yet. It's definitely on my list. Last Kingdom movie.
I
It
saw
wraps so much stuff up.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, it's
It's like-
such a better ending. Such a better.
That's good because the last season was.
The last season was pretty bad. I liked something. We'll do a whole. You watch Seven Kingdoms. We'll review all of Last Kingdom into the not all of Last Kingdom, but we'll do a comprehensive.
Damn.
We'll do a comprehensive. This is what I loved about the show. This is what I hated about the show, and then the movie.
I was like, that's like 5 seasons of fucking television.
7, I think.
Oh shit.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, no.
You're right.
No, like you haven't seen any Last Kingdom. So,
I recommend it.
I'll break it down for you real quick. Season 1 is like a 7 for budget reasons. Seasons 2, 3, and 4 is like 8, 8.5, 9.5.
Damn.
Season 5, like 5.
I wouldn't go that hard on the last.
The
Yeah.
last season they're like, hey, we know.
I'm gonna say 4, and I've never seen it.
They're like, hey, we wrapped everything up in the last season, like in the Knights on the Bow, and they're like, here is 8 hours of all of your fucking characters dying that you like, and then we're gonna also introduce some new villains you never heard of and expect you to hate them and be mad about it. And
But there were a couple of scenes in the last season that would keep it above a 5 for me. Like the scene on the hill between Uhtred and one of them asshole names. You know who
Yeah,
we're talking about. Where she yes.
yeah, not to
That
spoil
scene-
it. Yeah.
Not to spoil anything, because
that's a
that's
huge
not what
spoiler.
this is exactly. And you might have clicked on this, and maybe you want to watch Last Kingdom. That scene alone made that season for me.
That's true, and what happens right after that broke it for me, I think.
Oh
So,
yeah, I
What the
know.
hell are you staring at over there?
Oh, this Mistborn book over here.
yeah, it's Lost Metal.
Yeah, I have some things we're gonna talk about off air. Continue. Sorry, my bad.
I hope that cover's not spoiling shit for you.
No, it's not. But I'm actually, it's something about the cover that's bothering me. But continue with
It's
this
probably
review.
the same thing.
Okay, so we have the Ahsoka show coming up next. The trailer for that looks amazing.
Yes.
Obviously, we're gonna get Thrawn. We've got the movie coming up.
When does the Ahsoka show come out?
I think it's later this year.
Oh, dope.
So, and we've confirmed that we're gonna get Sabine in there, which is a Rebels character.
Oh shit! Really?
Yes, Sabine.
I've seen most of Rebels, so
Sabine
like,
and Hera are both confirmed.
oh, I think I actually do remember seeing a clip of Hera. So yeah, I do know that.
And the same actor that plays Thrawn in Rebels is playing him in.
If I'm not mistaken, the same actress who plays Hera is also playing Hera in
Pretty sure, yeah.
the show.
And so with Bo-Katan, you know, when they cast, like when they were designing the character for Clone Wars, they designed Bo-Katan to look like Katie Sackhoff because they were like, well, you could play this character in live action one day, and she was like, yeah. When they told me that, I was like, whatever, but like here she is,
Right,
which is such a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think is next for like Mando and Grogu? Like, what do you guys think of like a season 4 of this looks like?
I could see them doing like being jobbers, like running jobs for New Republic, maybe battling with the consciousness of what they're doing.
The term jobber means something completely different to us.
Same.
The wrestling term first, and then I picked
I'm
up.
sorry.
No, I definitely think we're gonna see. Originally, they were gonna do a new, Rangers of the New Republic show, and then Cara Dune fucked that up. So I think they're gonna kind of try to take the material they had for that and maybe shoehorn it in for season 4. But I do get the idea that maybe they realized this season was disjointed, and they're
I
gonna
hope
make.
it's more cohesive.
Yeah, I think the next season is gonna be back to Mando and Grogu adventures, and less about like taking back Mandalorian shit.
7 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need a more singular focused goal because like part of the reason for the huge success of season 1 is how simple it failed in the beginning. Like, we had a really simple and cool protagonist, and then we get Grogu at the very end of that first episode, and they're like, okay, but it was always tightly focused on them and on that singular goal, protecting the child. And and then also it was a Star Wars project that was, it was a spaghetti western masquerading as a Star Wars project. And I think that because we got such a different genre with the Star Wars tone, really helped a lot of that success too.
It felt fresh,
Yeah.
and this season did not feel fresh.
And one thing I will say about all the seasons, this one included, that Mandalorian has always done. If they are willing to take us to planets and locations that the movies don't go to,
Yes.
like I don't know why everybody wants to go back to fucking Tatooine.
It is the most horrible planet on the planet.
It is just super irrelevant.
It's my favorite on the planet.
Yes, I said what I said.
It's a super irrelevant. Like, and then they fucking made Jakku, and it's just the same shit.
It's the same shit.
I just don't think that there's Jawas on Jakku. So it's like it's Tatooine without the one cool thing on fucking Tatooine. I don't think they have crate dragons either.
No.
So yeah, I don't. That's one thing I've always loved about Mando, and they actually did keep that up in this season too.
I mean, they did go back to Tatooine, but at least they gave us parts of Tatooine that we hadn't seen.
Yeah, and we were there for like one episode, and it was dope. They fought a crate dragon.
And honestly, I love the fucking marshal. I hated they fucking killed him.
No, he's alive.
He's alive, right?
Yeah, he's alive. In the very end of
You're right.
they take it to the guy and they
That's
put it
right.
back together.
But yeah, still, like, they almost fucking killed him. Like, I love the marshal. That motherfucker's cool as shit. I guess my thoughts on I really hope they get back to whatever the that cohesiveness. Like, I think we're all in agreement there. The formula that they created this story with, they need to keep it that way. Because I'm with you guys. Like, it didn't even feel like it was Din Djarin's show or Grogu's show. It felt like it was borderline Bo-Katan's show. Which, don't get me wrong, I like Bo-Katan. However, of course, it says it's the Mandalorian. If it just said Mandalorian, I might have been a little less, inclined to be upset about that. But I don't know. There was a lot going on in this season. I really hope they change that. Honestly, I don't want to see them doing, random jobs here and there. I want to see a cohesive story, but not the same formula. I want a little bit more depth to this. I want to see Grogu grow.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm tired of the baby talk. Give me something.
It's hard, right? Because like Caleb said earlier, he's still like the hot money maker,
Right.
and it's like, because like now they struck gold by having a child actor that never has to grow up, and yeah, and I mean I'm with you on that. He should grow up, give Grogu the chance to progress because as of now, there's only so much he can do. He's limited.
I mean, and he's a fucking apprentice now. So, like, he needs a fucking helmet. At least give him a goddamn helmet.
You know how much best guy's gonna take to cover up them ears?
And?
Well, there is a lot of argument, and I think I probably agree with this, that Grogu is the Mandalorian that is referred to in the title.
That too.
I had heard that.
I had never heard that before.
I never heard either, but it
You
makes
got to
sense.
start doing some Mandalorian shit, man.
Right? Like, he's just doing Jedi shit, hanging out with a Mandalorian.
I would love that though if they did like at the very end when they're done with the Mandalorians, like a flash forward scene, and it's like Grogu and he's got his vest.
He's like maybe
He's jacked.
maybe 2 or 3 inches taller.
He's like a whole 3 feet tall. He's dual wielding dark sabers. We don't know how. No explanation. Full Beskar. Riding a mythosaur.
Riding a mythosaur.
He breathes fire.
Which, by the way, he definitely force touched that fucking mythosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
That was not consensual.
It was not. And something's gonna come of that shit.
I flew open.
Yeah, I mean, if he tames that mythosaur,
So why are you touching me?
Theoretically, if he tames that mythosaur, he theoretically would be like the second coming of Mandalore. Like he would.
That would be so dope. I think they could do a lot with that theory.
Which makes more sense, because he is also a Force user. So
That's true.
It
never.
Did we just uncover the plot?
I
don't think they buried it that deep.
I think we just kind of just moved off the.
Yeah, I think there's a little sand on the top.
We kind of tripped over it, to be honest.
Oh, shit. Oh, hey, that could be a thing. Why does it sound Jakku? No,
Why does everybody want to go back to
All right. I think we've dug deep here. Other than that, does anybody have anything else before we wrap up? I don't know how long we've been here. I feel like this has been a long
4 hours.
It feels like a long fucking time. I normally have a very good judge of the timer over there, but I think we're fucked. Like that first recording was like 45 minutes.
Yeah. We're definitely over 2, maybe even 2.5.
It's been that long.
Well, to be fair,
When
when we reviewed season 2 on your podcast, that shit was like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, we went.
Wasn't that part of that one?
It was like 2. It was like 2.5, like 2:40.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was long. It was long.
Yeah.
Long.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we've been sitting here that long. And I've sat and done some long podcasts.
Yeah, you have.
By yourself.
Sure, you've done that.
Done that too,
Yeah.
bitch.
Wow. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
You got like an enlightening monologue to end it here. You gonna say something? You gonna pull a stand and explain the morality of everything to us?
No.
Well, in that case, I think it's time to wrap it up. Everybody, check out Tavern Notice Board.
We should be having a new episode coming up this Sunday.
You can find that like everywhere that your audio podcasts are served.
Yeah,
You on Amazon yet?
I don't know, honestly.
We just added Amazon for this one. It's like a separate thing. I think you have to.
Oh yeah, no, then I haven't done that. No.
Yeah, I'll give it to you on that shit. And then also, of course, check out Coffee and Lore. You've been doing a bunch of videos. Like, you're doing 3 a week now, right?
3 a week, pretty consistently for a couple of months now.
She's wrecking it, yeah.
Yes. My videos are only like 20 minutes though, so it's nothing on what you guys do.
You pop up on my TV, so.
Yes.
But I really loved your Rhythm of War review recently.
Course.
It was fantastic.
No, absolutely. And then my last 2 reviews have just been hot takes, so it is what it is.
You going to
Can't
war?
live everything. A little bit, man. I'm not gonna get super into it, but a little bit, man. I'm not getting it. But then I also kind of feel like, and I don't know if you guys get this with movies and comics and stuff. I feel like I'm chasing a high almost right now, and I've not gotten it in a little bit. Like, so yeah.
I'm sorry, nothing can be Words of Radiance. If you find one,
I
let me
really
know.
think that's the problem.
It is.
Why did I fucking read that book?
Yeah.
And then ever
Cat
since,
piss, huh?
oh my
It's
god,
cat-
It's
cat
cat
piss,
piss.
yeah.
Cat piss. Got it.
ever since then, man, I've been like, it was okay. It wasn't for me. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, and so the cat piss reference is like, if you've only ever had like, some fucking $5 like barefoot wine from like Walmart or whatever,
Yep.
then yeah, that might be good to you. And then you go and have some like really good shit, and then
Yes.
now all of a sudden
Everything. Any wine other than this
it's cat
will
piss.
taste like cat piss.
And that's Words of Radiance. It's the best book I've ever read, and it's hard. Yeah, it got a 10 on your.
It did,
review.
and
It's
it is the only 10. This book right here, Priory of the Orange Tree, is one of my favorite books. It didn't even get a 10. So it got a solid 10, and ever since then, I think I've been chasing that high.
That ride of Way of Kings into Words of Radiance is
It's
something
so
else, and then you just kind of
Oh my god, it was so good.
yeah,
And I think that, like I told you that too, I didn't take a break between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer, and I think that's why Oathbringer was so low on me.
well, I will give you hope. Lost Metal is over there, and that's like coming up for you, and it's close for me. It is not a 10, but it's top 5 cosmic.
Oh heck yeah, I gotta get those for
And
you.
the ending is emotional, like destroy your entire. It's a tearjerker.
Okay.
Also, superhero homies.
What?
Coming up, we are going to review the Dark Knight trilogy.
We are
Oh freak yes!
one
Please let me
motherfucking
know.
movie at a time.
I'm
We're
so
doing that
excited
deep
for
dive.
that.
So you bring me on for all the fucking movies, but you bring him on for a fucking dope ass trilogy? Man, fuck you.
You didn't have to say that shit right here, though.
I'm trying to promote your show.
I know.
He's gonna find out. He asked me if I would come on and do that. I was like, I was born for this. I don't even need to watch them again. I'm talking about right now. And
I was born in the darkness.
yeah. At 17 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Yes! I love Bane. Bane is my favorite villain of all time. And Batman.
He's a really cool villain.
Mm-hmm. All versions of him. too.
No. First Howard the Duck, now this.
You didn't like him.
First
in
Howard
that.
Duck, Super Mario Brothers, now this. I feel like you have.
Spawn.
Whoa. I feel like you have
No.
drawn the line in the sand,
No.
and I understand now.
No.
I understand my place.
Hey, you want for Green Light?
Oh.
I understand.
No.
I understand my place. I get it.
Wow. Well, I'm glad.
Nope.
No, I'm glad you have this moment because I actually just recently got the Crow graphic novel, the deluxe edition. Oz, you told me that if I had said book, you would be willing to read it and come on the podcast and do a compare and review to the movie.
That sounds
awesome.
dope.
Okay,
I would
good.
listen to that too.
I had to
'Cause I
read
love the movie.
Okay. I had to read All-Star Superman. And that shit was weird.
Shit.
However, we will sit here and fuck around all night. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been an Evolved Review. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here.